We are talking about solving equations, and we're going to use GEMDAS to remind us the order in which we're supposed to do that. But remember, when we're using GEMDAS to solve, we want to work backwards. So we're going to start with subtraction and work our way up to groups. So over here, I'm going to write it down just to remind myself. GEMDAS. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for addition and subtraction. And if I see any addition or subtraction, now I need to undo that here. We have a positive 4, and I need to remove that 4. So in order to get rid of 4, get it back down to 0, I'm going to subtract 4 from this. Now, because this is an equation, this means that this side is balanced with this side. So in order to keep the equation balanced, I have to, whatever I do to the left side of the equation, I have to make sure that I do that to the right side. So subtract 4. Now, just like we did over here, we're talking about our operations. So the first thing we did was substitution. Over here, what is the first thing we did? We did inverse operation. So it was inverse. And the inverse we did was subtraction. So inverse subtraction, and that gets rid of our positive 4 there. And then we're left with negative 3x is equal to 6. Now we look at what we have left, and we see that we have we look back to GEMDAS. Do we have any addition and subtraction left? There's no addition or subtraction. There is a negative sign, but that just tells us if this is a positive or a negative number. So we're done with addition and subtraction, and now we can come back to the next one, which is multiplication and division. Do we have any multiplication and division over here? We do. This is negative 3 multiplied by x. So how do we get rid of that 3 in the front? So we're going to divide by 3, negative 3. Whatever we do to the left side, we have to do the same thing to the right side. And what did we do there? We did inverse division. And our negative 3's cancel, and we're left with x is equal to negative 2. And that is the solution for that given example. The next one we can come to is we can look at 7 plus 3x equals 11. And we're still going to use GEMDAS. So I'll write that down. And remember, when we're solving, we're going to start with subtraction and work our way back. So first we look for addition and subtraction. I have addition here. This is plus 3x, but I don't have a variable over here, so it doesn't help me to move it across. Here I have a 7, but what operation is out front? So what operation is in front of the 7? If there's nothing written there, then it's understood that it is a positive value. So in order to get rid of a positive value, we have to subtract. Our inverse operation of addition is subtract 7. So that was inverse subtraction. And so the 7 cancels the 7. 3x is equal to 4. And now go back to GEMDAS. Do we have any more addition and subtraction? We don't have any more addition and subtraction, so we can get rid of that. Then we can look for multiplication and division. We do have multiplication here, and so to get rid of multiplication, we have to do the inverse operation, which in this case, the inverse operation was division again. And what we're left with are 3, cancels our 3, so that becomes 1x. And then we don't have to use that in a calculator. If we can't reduce it, we can just leave that as x equals 4/3. Now, one more example. Here we have 1/3 multiplied by a negative 2x plus 1 is equal to negative 11. And we're still going to use GEMDAS. And what's the first thing that we're looking for? We're looking for addition and subtraction. Do we see addition and subtraction? We do. But what's the issue? Why can't we deal with that right now? The issue is that is part of a group. So it's in the parentheses, part of the group. The group is the last thing we can do. So we have to do everything else outside of the group before we can start working inside the group. So we can't do addition and subtraction right now. So then we move to multiplication and division. If we have a 1/3, that's like saying division. So what's the inverse operation of division? Is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, because here I'm dividing by 3. So here I want to multiply both sides by 3. The reason we do that is because the 3 cancels the 3, and this is going to be inverse multiplication. So now that we got rid of the 1/3, we can get rid of those parentheses. And on the right side, negative 11 times 3 is negative 33. Now, we don't have any more groups anymore, so now we get to restart GEMDAS. So we got rid of that group. Now we get to start back over from the beginning. Do we have addition and subtraction? We do have addition. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. And then we get negative 2x is equal to negative minus a negative. So we add them together and keep the sign. Keep the sign so I know it's going to stay negative. 33 plus 1 is 34. And last, we have a multiplication here. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by negative 2. So that's inverse division. And when we say negative 2 divided by negative 2, that cancels out. And then we're left with x is equal to negative 34 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by negative becomes positive. And 34 divided by 2 is 17.